Hello and welcome to End Focus, coming to you this week from that bigger boat that we needed. I am your host, Hilka. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Rosalie. How are you doing today?
Hello. I'm going to start off by saying I'm not sleepy, although I technically am. I'm okay. I'm a bit froggy. Brain foggy. There you go. That was an example. This week, I have no idea why, if it's age or because of health things or both, because that is the reality when you're in your mid 30s, unfortunately. But I am coping, and I am coping with video games and by chatting to you. Oh,
Hell yeah.
how are you today?
I am also not tired, which is really throwing the launch of our actual bingo card into a real issue. Because that's the free center space. Because I assumed at least one of us would be tired in every recording.
Yep.
But so if you are not aware of the bingo sheet, we've only been joking about it for like 2 years, and we finally made one, and it's out. It's on the website. You can download it. You could play along and tell us how many we hit and what your score was. I'm so glad to have it finally out there. I've just been I've had a Google Doc just keeping track, just keeping notes of recurring themes and topics.
I wonder if people are going to turn it into a drinking game. I wonder if I could turn it into a drinking game. Might be dangerous on my liver, actually. Never mind.
Yeah. What? Hilka brought up Monster Hunter again. Well, take a shot.
Oh, yeah, I would literally be on the floor. So let's maybe not do that.
But other than that, yeah, I'm great. I'm very busy, which is surprising given how not a lot of things I've been trying to do in the past while. But I guess it's happening again, but not in a way that's causing problems so far. We'll see. I'm so glad that we're streaming again. I really missed it. We played Peak last week, and we'll be streaming again next week. I am now remembering live that I don't know if we ever agreed for sure what we were going to be streaming next week.
Prince of Persia, maybe?
Yeah, or we were talking about Power Wash Simulator as well.
Oh, yeah. One of those.
Keep an eye on our social media feeds and our Discord to find out for sure. We'll talk about it after the recording. Yeah, it's so fun. Streaming is great. Peak is a very wacky game. I'm not very good at it yet, but hey, it was my first time, so I think I'm allowed.
We got further than I've gotten with other people when it was their first time, though. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, we got to the snow bit. The big ice mountain where we froze to death. Spoilers, I guess.
Yeah. I still don't know which way you're meant to go.
We got through the jungle on our first try.
We did. Although it was different to the other jungles that I'm used. Well, obviously because it's procedurally generated, but I don't know if it was maybe a bit easier. But we did. Vines be damned, we conquered them.
Wait, no, I don't think we actually did though. No, we didn't. I super died.
Oh, well,
I exploded, or something exploded, and it launched me very far down, and then I died from falling damage. Go watch the stream. It's up on youtube.com/@GamePodular streams highlights if you want to watch it back. I also, I don't know if it's super noticeable, but I did get a new microphone recently. For those of you who have been keeping an eye on the Discord, because I think that's the only place I've talked about it, also who've listened to the last 2 episodes, I was having some tech issues. I thought they were resolved in the last episode. I am now convinced that they are actually resolved now. The short version of the story: I was using some software made by my microphone's manufacturer, not just something random I pulled off the internet, to apply various processing effects to it and increase the volume a little bit because it makes editing better. And it turned out that something was going wrong while using that software, so it was causing little like pops in the audio, like little drops that sounded like a pop. And it was very annoying, and I couldn't really edit around it, and I do apologize for that. And over the course of about 5 weeks, going back and forth with Rode customer support, excellent. They're great, by the way. No disrespect to them. It became increasingly clear that the solution to what is the best way to use Rode Unify is don't use Rode Unify. So I'm not using it anymore, but I do have a new microphone, and I do have a different software that isn't causing any issues, as far as I've noticed. I guess we'll see when I edit this episode. Stay tuned to the end when I find out myself, I guess. But it should be fine. I do not foresee any issues happening, he said. I'm going to knock on wood, except not because it would show up in the recording. Anyway. We've got a lot to get into because the news section is quite long. Thankfully, no announcement live stream this week, just a lot of news with a lot of long bullet points. So before we get into that, I want to remind everybody that we have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/GamePodular. If you want to send us money there, you can. You don't have to, but we'd appreciate it. It would be cool if you did. It'll get you access to the... I think I almost said highlight compilations again, which is what I did last time too. The outtake compilations. There we go. Good job, Hilka. You can also do the same at Ko-fi, kofi.com/GamePodular. Giving us money there will also get you access to all of the outtake compilations. All of them are on there now. I did it.
Yay.
What else? youtube.com/@GamePodular. You can listen to these podcasts right there. And if you are listening to us there, don't forget to push the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment about your favorite shark from fiction and media. I expect a lot of Jaws comments, but not necessarily. There's Deep Blue Sea, there's Street Sharks. Everybody loves Street Sharks.
The Meg.
Oh, yeah. The Meg 2 Cruise Control. That's such a stupid joke. Oh my God. And as I mentioned before, you can go to GamePodular. Oh my God. You can go to youtube.com/@GamePodular streams highlights to watch VODs of our streams and the occasional highlight compilation. I promise I am working on the Hollow Knight one. I've had a lot on my plate. It's going very slow, and there's like 16 streams to get through. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's go to the news. Our first news story is an addendum to our last episode. Now, in the last episode, we talked about the upcoming hardware revision of the Switch 2 to comply with EU regulations on electronic devices having replaceable batteries, and we were sort of wondering about how the replaceable battery would actually work. Turns out there was some text that either was added after I wrote the notes or I just missed it completely. Honestly, odds are 50-50 either way. That there was text on the page that had like the specs for the new versions and also the release dates that said battery replacement kits for each product will be available to purchase from Nintendo Store in Europe in the future. So that does read to me like they will be more easily done by individuals than we thought. Because if I'm not misremembering, the way we sort of theorized about it is they're going to redesign it to just make it easier for Nintendo customer service to replace it for you. But given that they're selling the actual battery packs in the near future, I have to assume it's going to be able to be done by more people than just Nintendo customer service.
Yeah, I ended up writing about this like the day after the podcast, and I went, oh.
Whoops.
They're not up on the story yet, though. Although, because it just says the Nintendo Store in Europe, I am still wondering, like, what stores that is. Because, yes, the UK is in Europe, but because the law is, like, EU law, then I'm kind of wondering if the UK store would have them as well, if that makes sense. It doesn't actually say.
I did find a list on that very same page that I didn't write down because it was very long. Let me see if I can find that for you real quick.
Maybe it's then.
I have found the list for you. Mm-hmm. And it's very long. The United Kingdom is listed on there for the record. If you want the full list, I'm going to read it out real quick. Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands, hell yeah, brother, Norway, Oman, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't know that parts of the Middle East were also being serviced by the EU store. But here we are.
They also have a tutorial on how to swap the battery for the updated Switch OG Switch Joy-Cons as well. And I'm like really curious to like do it just to see how it is. But at the same time, that would involve me buying a new old Joy-Cons just to take them apart and maybe break them. So
yeah. And theoretically this incentive is supposed to reduce e-waste.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's better than we thought it would be.
Yes.
Our next story is also kind of an update from a previous episode, this time from episode 282, where we talked about Nintendo being on the receiving end of a lawsuit, specifically a class action lawsuit by Gregory Hoffert from California and Prashant Charan from Washington. This concerned the refund Nintendo was given after the tariffs instituted by U.S. President and famous indirect murderer of millions, Donald Trump, were declared illegal. And the lawsuit claimed that the consumers paid for the tariffs and should therefore be entitled to the refund. I think at the time, what I said was more or less, I agree, but I don't see them actually winning this. Mm-hmm. And guess what? I was right. Nintendo, well, it's, writing's not on the wall yet, but Nintendo has recently responded to the suit, trying to get it dismissed before it even goes to trial. Their lawyers had the following to say, this is a really long quote, I apologize, but it's important that we get all the context for this. Open quote. The money plaintiffs paid represents the purchase price of the goods they wanted and received. Plaintiffs are not entitled to a rebate simply because of intervening legal developments related to tariffs. Like its market peers, Nintendo made the difficult decision to adjust some of its prices in response to market conditions, including costs of memory, labor, shipping, and tariffs. Unlike many of its market peers, however, Nintendo did not simply increase each product's price by the amount of tariffs it paid on that product or impose an across-the-board tariff surcharge. Instead, Nintendo imposed modest and selective price adjustments, and it chose to bear the cost of tariffs on some of its most popular products of 2025, including its flagship console, the Nintendo Switch 2. End quote. Y'all know me. I'm not one to agree with Nintendo on legal matters because they are usually the bad guys. But I have to admit that I find it kind of hard to refute their logic here, right? Because if what they say is true, which it could not be, I guess, if you want to get real conspiratorial about it, and that they ate some of the tariff costs themselves, then the situation at least gets a lot more murky. It would be hard to prove which increases were for tariffs and which were for other reasons, thereby making the math on what consumers would be entitled to a lot more difficult as well. And as much as I am in favor of the plaintiffs here, emotionally speaking, I don't think they actually have a case anymore. Mm-hmm. Which sucks, because free money. I mean, free. I mean, they still have to pay legal fees, but it's so weird agreeing with Nintendo on something like this. I don't like it. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah. Don't like being on the bootlicker side of things, I'm joking. You're not that, but I get you.
Yeah, like it makes sense, to be honest.
Yeah. Because if you can't prove how the costs were effective, then you couldn't prove. It's like when you see cases where go ahead and you have to prove the loss of like income that's happened because of like defamation or so things along those lines. But there has to be like a line that, they have to show for certain this is the amount that was like, affected. And in this case, it feels pretty difficult to easily
Yeah.
figure that out. So,
And especially if Nintendo is telling the truth about the fact that they just ate the cost on tariffs for some things like the Nintendo Switch 2, which I don't know if you've heard, but it sold pretty well. And like every console is already sold at a loss. And then
well,
if they ate some of the cost of the tariffs on top of that, then like, ooh.
I thought that was always the case, but apparently in the past recent generations, that wasn't the case again. But now, because of the climate we're in, it is that again. So apparently we
Great.
were out of that for a while, and then we're in that again. Because I just assumed, I mean, I probably should know better, that all tech was like, because I know, like, when you buy those silly Tassimo coffee maker things, that they sell them at, like, companies like Nestle and stuff sell them at a loss, but they make the profit on the little actual pods that you put into them. And I just thought all gadgets of a certain cost did that. And I did know about the consoles, but yeah, apparently that I've been told by people in my industry that apparently, well, our industry, that wasn't the case again, but it is again because of all the chip shortages and what have you.
Which is kind of wild considering every console has gotten more expensive already.
I know, even the really cheap handhelds, I don't know if I mentioned it, like I bought one of the super, the little pocket things. There was like a rare edition that has like Banjo-Kazooie on it, and it has like Battletoads, and it was like
fun
£50. It's just like a cute little, like, you're not connected to the internet, and it's compatible with all the Evercade cartridges. So
nice,
cool. But even that's now got a price increase because of everything that's going on. So even the things that were like, this is a cheap alternative, it's like, kinda not anymore, kinda. It's like, oh.
Yeah,
yay.
even the like retro gaming handhelds are starting to get affected as well.
Yeah.
Like it's just bad across the board. Man, however much we hate AI companies, I don't think it's enough.
I'm with you there.
And that's saying something, because I like think the heads of a lot of those companies are some of the biggest monsters currently, which is, again, saying a lot, given everything that's going on in the world right now.
Yes.
I don't hate the video games industry. I hate what it's become.
Yes. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
By some, and it's not even, yeah, I mean, we could go on for ages, but it's like, it's not even decisions made by the majority of the people that make them. It's the people at the head that are like looking at graphs where lines are going down or not up fast enough and are like, meh, 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 meh. I always think of them like
I love looking at data without context and making decisions based on it.
Yeah, I always think of them as, did you ever play Ape's Odyssey on the PS1? You know, when he like...
I did not know.
There's a bit where, I think it's right at the start. In fact, I think it is, yeah, it's opening cutscene. He finds like all the creepy bad guys. What are they called? Murlocs? Or is that's his race? There's like the creepy bad guys and they all in like big suits. And he just sees them all in a office going, and looking at graphs. And I'm just like, that's just how I view all the like CEOs generally. Apart from I would hope that they wouldn't end up cooking their employees, turning them into new and tasty snacks. But, you know...
give him like 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like... I did see something on Blue Sky like an hour before we started recording about how some game companies are trying to stop like freelancers from working on like personal projects while they're freelancing for a company. And it's like,
What?
yeah, it just feels like a lot of companies are just trying to make employment equal ownership, which is frankly disgusting. And nope, that's it. It's frankly disgusting. And they should be put in jail for that.
Yes, that's not okay.
Or like what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. Like ages ago, there was talk of like you get let go from a tech company or a games company or a different kind of company. And in order to get your severance package, you have to sign like a non-disparagement NDA or something. And so you're not even allowed to talk about the fact that you got fired. And that's just, why is that legal?
I think
That seems like one of those things that's a no-brainer to make illegal.
I think that's a thing in a lot of companies anyway. Right, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, non-disparagement was not the correct word there. Like non-disparagement, I imagine is pretty obvious, but just to like you sign a thing and you're just not allowed to talk about the fact that you got let go, even though that's what happened.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? We already talked about a bunch of this in the last episode too. I was in such a good mood. So let's move on to some more fun news, I guess. Another update from the last episode, that Donkey Kong arcade Lego set that we talked about that was leaked at the time is now real and has officially been announced. It's coming out August 1st, which is very soon. It has 1,371 pieces, will cost 170 euros, 150 pounds, or 200 USD, or your local equivalent. It has some significant interactivity as well, which we sort of spitballed some ideas for that in the last episode. There's going to be, it comes with a bunch of like little barrels, and you can drop them into the Donkey Kong level with like a lever, and then you can make Mario or Jumpman, I guess, actually move around and jump over them with like the arcade stick. It looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
I probably won't buy it because I don't know where I'd put it, but
That's just
I've already had to start like moving some of my tabletop RPG books that I don't use anymore to like a different closet that's not in like my living room because I don't have bookshelf space.
I know that feeling. I was literally tidying my office a bit today because I have to for work reasons, sad face. And I was like, oh, look at this Lego set I haven't ever opened. Oh, look at this Lego set I haven't ever opened. I'm like, ugh. But like, because I got the Spider-Man 2 train from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the best Spider-Man. And I'm like, I love it and I can't wait to put it together. But where would it go? Because this room has a distinct, like, cutesy anime girl gaming aesthetic for Spider-Man does not fit in. So I'm like, I need a space. I need a Spider-Man space.
Yeah.
One day.
One day. Yeah, I don't know where else I would put a bookshelf in here. You don't really want them like by my dining table.
No.
I mean, I also just have a bunch of books that I just probably shouldn't have anymore. Like I have multiple biographies of Pol Pot because I needed them for a research paper in high school. And I'm 32 now. I probably don't need to keep them. I also, speaking of Spider-Man, I have the official novelization of the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Is it good?
By Peter David.
I've got the soundtrack on vinyl recently. And it just makes me happy.
I also have a Star Trek The Next Generation novel.
Oh.
A show I have never watched.
Wait, you've never seen Next Gen?
Do you want to hear my entire exposure to Star Trek?
Yeah, I just assumed that you
this will
liked
be
Star Trek.
bizarre considering how much of a sci-fi guy I am.
Yeah.
But here's all of the Star Trek I've watched.
Okay.
That one scene where Geordi can see through real eyes instead of his visor.
Uh-huh.
Two of the J.J. Abrams movies. And like 2 seasons of the Netflix one, the first one.
Oh,
Star Trek Beyond? No.
I don't know what that one is.
The one before Star Trek Beyond. But like that's it. I didn't even finish that show.
Wow. Yeah, I just assumed that you'd be a Star Trek fan. How wrong?
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The one I've seen 2 seasons of.
Wow. Not even one original series episode?
Nope.
Wow. I mean, I've not watched. Well, I've watched all of original, and I've watched, I think, most of Next Gen because I just watched it every day when it was on, like when it was airing. So I assumed that I caught most of it, and I think I've seen a few of the movies because my uncle's a Trekkie, and they were just on. So like you know, but wow.
Yep.
I think you would like. I keep meaning to rewatch it, but then I also want to rewatch X-Files, and they're both really long, and I'm like, wow. Have you seen?
See, I'm right now just really into like Canadian genre TV.
Oh, they do make good TV.
Like I watched all of Killjoys this year, which is so good. Oh, I love that show so much. I had only ever watched like I think the first 2 seasons before it got taken off Netflix. And so I found a way to watch it this year. And it's very good. I love it a lot. If you like Firefly, you'll like Killjoys.
Have you seen, not to go on a tirade too much, but have you seen The Orville? I think I've asked you this before.
I have not.
Oh, it's very good. It's like What If Next Gen, but better. And you think it's
high praise.
I know you think it's going to be like Family Guy humor because it's Seth MacFarlane, and they do that for like kind of in the first season, but when it finds its like rhythm, and the fact that Seth MacFarlane is a massive Next Gen fan, it just reads, it's just the same, but it's more. Oh, it's so good. The more humor in it, and it's like yeah. I just really like The Orville. I need to also rewatch that. It's fantastic. But then you might not. I don't know if. No, I think you still like it, even if you don't, because it doesn't. I don't think it has many references to Next Gen. But yeah, that's it. That's how peculiar. How peculiar.
Yeah, like my sort of main sci-fi TV show growing up was Doctor Who. Like I was big into the new series of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And that was what a wonderful decision that was in retrospect. I mean, yeah. So yeah, Star Trek. I've never. I mean, like I have sort of tried in that I watched some Discovery, and like obviously the J.J. Abrams movies were never going to be a good representation.
No, couldn't even get someone Scottish this time around or that time around. And also, I'm sorry, but why can't Simon Pegg do a good Scottish accent? His mum, I'm pretty sure, is Scottish, so you would think, but also he sounded horrendous. So I don't know, just like, sort of, yeah, they upset me.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Right, Donkey Kong. How did we get from Donkey Kong to Star Trek?
I mean, they both have Lego sets now, but I don't think that was it.
No. Huh.
Weird. Our
brains. I can't remember.
Our minds work in mysterious ways.
let's just leave the past in the past and go look at an artifact from the past. This was actually a lot of fun to look up and read about. A rare internal documentary about the creation of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl has been successfully archived and shared with the world. A collector named Neos TCG tracked down a DVD of it in June of this year. Then a group of archivists led by someone named Lewtwo, as in Lewtwo, ripped the contents of the DVD and uploaded it to YouTube and the Internet Archive. It's currently only in Japanese, but a full translation of it is in the works for those of us who can't read or understand Japanese. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. I did skip around in the actual video a bit, but on Lewtwo's website, there's also a very long article that has some just things written out. And I don't know about you, but I love consuming the written word because I do it faster than I watch videos, he said, being on a podcast. The thing that I and a lot of people were very into is designs that were shown in the documentary for Pokemon that were either scrapped or reworked. Some of my personal favorites were a line of plant lion Pokemon that never has appeared since then. Something that looks like a Delibird evolution.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that sort of gives me pause about that is it's no longer a bird. It just kind of looks like Santa Claus. And some very early designs for Krogunk, which, to be honest, I kind of like better than the real design of Krogunk. I like the little headpieces it has. Did you have an opportunity to scroll through this webpage a little bit?
I didn't scroll through it, but I saw people sharing the designs because they went a bit viral. And they were very cool. I do hope that now people have seen them, that doesn't immediately mean that they're never going to be used in some way. But yes, it's very exciting. I need to look through it properly, but then I might just wait for the translation. But like you, I really wanting to replay Diamond and Pearl, and then realizing that the easiest way to do that is not great.
Yeah.
And then getting really sad.
You can track down a secondhand copy for the definitely affordable price that they are.
Oh, I still have my copy, but I just can't.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I just can't be bothered. I can't. I know where all my DSs and things are. It's just that I know that I'm going to be very less likely to bring it out and constantly play it as I would the Switch. It would just be easier if it was on the Switch, but yes, we don't talk about Shining Diamond and Pearl or whatever it's called. I can't remember.
Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, the other way around.
Oh.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, BDSP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least this year, Nintendo showed that they are still occasionally willing to let us buy old Pokemon games instead of locking them behind a subscription. So who knows? In the next 20 years, we might be able to get a digital release of the original Diamond and Pearl.
I did see a cool, fake. Well, I think someone's probably made a 3D printed one where you flip the Switch 2 vertically. And it was an attachment that put the Joy-Cons at the bottom of it. So then you could play DS games because it would split the screen. And I'm like, as much as I would not want them to charge more for that, I would pay it. I would pay it right now. But I don't know.
Because, yeah, we've talked about this before, and sort of the bottom screen is going to be the problem, right? And games that have made the transition onto Switch from DS and 3DS have managed to solve it in a variety of ways. Mm-hmm. Obviously, in Ace Attorney, you can just turn it into a menu by just pressing the X button. And the other example I can immediately think of is the Castlevania Dominus Collection, which is a collection of all the Castlevania DS games. Mm. And so they had all the information, I believe. I'm going off Order of Ecclesia here because that's the one I've played the most. But you could switch between two different screens on the bottom screen. So what they did is they have most of the screen is taken up by the game in landscape, and then they had both screens that could be switched to on the bottom screen as just on screen at the same time. I've said the word screen a lot. Just on top of each other. And you can configure which one you want to be like on top and which one you want to be below. And so the game itself is still taking up most of the screen, but then you have all the information from the bottom screen on there at the same time. And I think that's a reasonably elegant solution if you have exactly two things that you can switch between, which for, say, Pokemon X and Y is definitely not the case. It had like 5.
Yeah, you'd have to be quite select. Although I imagine Ace Attorney had an easier time with it because the original game is on the Game Boy Advance. It wasn't on the DS to begin with, which not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
But
But like a lot of the later, like
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
look at Spirit of Justice and Dual Destinies and stuff.
and I guess with Diamond and Pearl, you've got the Poffin making mini game, which is like the main thing I can. That was Diamond and Pearl, right?
Good question. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I have a memory of people being in my teenage bedroom, all of us playing Pokemon and like making poffins and making sure, because you have to make sure they don't like spill or you don't burn them or whatever it was. And I think that era must have been Diamond and Pearl, because I had like
It was definitely one of the DS ones.
Yeah.
But it could also have been like black and white.
Oh, I didn't own black and white,
Okay.
so it must have been another one. But yeah, that's something.
Yes, it was Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Hey.
Right, because it was sort of a different take on the Pokeblocks from Gen 3.
Yes. Oh, I really like Diamond and Pearl.
Same. I wish the remakes were good.
I know. Yeah. Sigh.
We cracked like in especially sort of the first couple of months that I started on N-Focus, we cracked a lot of jokes on like Scarlet and Violet running terribly, and I think joking about the Diamond and Pearl remakes has sort of replaced that. Release more games for purchase, you cowards. Don't just put them on NSO. And also just release more DS games and 3DS games on the Switch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the Switch 2 can handle emulating it. It's just a problem of logistics, I guess. Yeah, screen logistics.
Yeah. I know we talked about it before, but I would even buy like a screen attachment that was just another screen, which is what I thought the extra port was for, before we obviously got the official look at the Switch 2 over a year ago. But I would buy that.
Never say never. It could.
It could.
Could still happen.
I thought,
based on no information.
I know. If they did like a thing where they packaged the screen with like an adapter thing to attach it, and then you got a code or whatever in the box, and it was like you get NSO, but you get the DS game version. That would be really cool. Although it wouldn't be, because it's them getting more money from you. But again, I would buy it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Come with me in this journey as well that I just thought of.
Oh.
A sort of like half functional just Switch 2 console that you put in your dock that functions, that like transmits video to your TV through the HDMI cable as the top screen, and then normal Switch 2 is the bottom screen. So it kind of functions like a Wii U.
I like that a lot.
Because like that's what I assumed the Wii U would be doing a lot of, is they could do a lot of ports of like DS games because they had the screen controller anyway. So they can just make that the bottom screen,
Yeah.
Maybe they would have sold more of them if they did that.
That upsets me, because it was really cool when you were like playing the first Splatoon and you had an overview of the map and you could actually see in real time like how much of it was inked in your team's ink while you were actually playing the game on the telly, and it was really cool.
Yeah. Being able to play like Etrian Odyssey on a big screen, but you do all the map drawing on your like Wii U screen controller would rip. That would be so sick.
Yeah. They gotta be. They probably, yeah. Fingers crossed.
Please, I will pay money for it. You have my dollars, my euros. Sorry, I'm European.
Yeah.
You have my euros. And our next story is more archival work. Man, I love preserving video game history. Ah, what a treat. I guess, yeah, this is technically archival work, preservation. Anyway, Japanese Famicom archivist Orochi went undercover at a Japanese love hotel where a number of Famicom box units are still operational and in use. For those of you not in the know about these, as I was before I wrote up this story, they were a variant of the Famicom, you may also know it as the Nintendo Entertainment System, produced for commercial use, especially in hotels. It has 14 kilobytes of extra CPU RAM.
Oh my God.
And multiple cartridge slots that function with carts that look more like the front-loading NES ones that you got in the West than the top-loading Famicom ones. It was very, very interesting seeing that these are still functional. I also really appreciate Orochi's discretion in purposefully not naming the specific hotel, as the people who typically use love hotels would want to remain out of the spotlight and not be swamped by diehard Nintendo fans who want to go see these really old, still functional consoles. It is just kind of a fun, like, neat thing that this love hotel seems to have so many of them that still work. And I mean this as judgmentally as possible when I say that it is just a kind of a funny and random place for them to be. Still, to this day.
Yeah. I do wonder what it is, because I know some people stay in love hotels, not for the reason that they're intended for, but because they at least used to be like quite cheap alternative places to stay for the odd night or two.
Yeah.
But I know you can stay in the original Nintendo headquarters. That's now like a hotel, like a normal hotel. But
yeah.
I do just find it cool that you can like sleep knowing that your room is like where some of the like Mario things were like thought up. You know what I mean? Like where history was made and you're just like having a snooze. But yeah, I do wonder where it is. That's really cool.
One other thing that I forgot to write in the notes, but I thought was very funny, he also mentioned that he saw at least one unit that still had a functional like zapper.
Oh, cool.
As far as he could tell, because they have replaced the TVs with LCD TVs, so it doesn't it's not compatible with the televisions anymore. But as far as he could tell, it still would have done something if it could have.
Yeah. Wonder if there's one in the new Nintendo Museum we talked about before, because I assumed that
I hope
has
so.
Yeah, I assumed that has everything, but maybe it doesn't. So
I mean, we know for a fact it doesn't have the dolls from the Star Fox commercials and box art.
I know.
Yeah, talked about that a couple episodes ago. That was sad.
It does have plushy Wiimotes that you can buy and take home though, which is
they're so big.
I want one so bad.
It would be such a great addition to my couch.
I know. And apparently a lot of places in Japan have a vacuum sealing thing so you can take plushies home that are too big. And I'm like, that's just genius.
Yeah.
Whoever thought that, amazing. But yeah, I would want that. And the N64 pillow. I just really want to go to that museum.
Speaking of Wiimote-shaped pillows, I promise that's the closest to video games this is going to get. But this is just a fun health tip for you. I recently purchased a very long pillow, not like a body pillow that you would put a pervy thing on, but just sort of a long pillow, and you can hold onto it and tuck it between your knees, and that's way better for your hips if you're a side sleeper. And I got to tell you, it really works. Oh my God. As someone who sits a lot, it's been doing wonders for my hips. So Genuinely, I recommend getting one. I don't care which one you get. I'm not being sponsored. I got mine at a local store when it was 50% off because I figured, what the hell? But yeah, highly recommend
Yeah.
if you're a side sleeper and also like us in your 30s or above.
Well, I think they're usually, the least here anyway, advertised as like pregnancy pillows. But I do have a Dakimakura. I forget how it's pronounced. I do have one of those because I find them comfy. But mine's got pretty anime stuff on it, not creepy anime stuff. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
But I do have one.
And focus. Come for the Nintendo jokes. Stay for
The stuff that'll put us on a list somewhere.
Stay for tips on ergonomics. And that's all the news we had for this episode. So now we're going to get into what we've been playing. Now, you have been playing Jaws Retro Edition. You've mentioned once or twice that you're kind of a fan of Jaws. So I'm curious to hear how you thought this new not reimagined, but updated version of a lot of these older games, because it did have like a whole bunch of new stuff and modes and stuff I read in the description. So I'd love to hear all about it.
Yeah. So basically, last year, Limited Run Games got the rights to re-release the NES Jaws game because it was the film's 50th anniversary. So there was a lot of new Jaws things coming out, including a documentary, which is on Disney Plus, and I highly recommend people watch. It is fantastic. Although it's got Emily Blunt in it a lot, and I'm like, girl, you have nothing to do with Jaws. Stop. Why are you here? But anyway.
Maybe she's just a fan. Who knows?
Well, I think it's because she's the protagonist in Spielberg's most recent film, but it's just like, you just have all these experts and people involved in the film, and then she pops up, and I'm like, huh? Like, it's just very random. But yeah, so it's on the Switch. That's why I'm talking about it. The PC and PS5, and they actually released it earlier this year, around February time. But the cool thing is that the original NES game only came out in North America.
Really?
Yeah, so it came out in 1987, and I've never, until now, I'd never actually played it. If it did come out over here, you can bet I would have, because the NES was my first console. But so that's why I was quite excited to finally get my hands on it. Because it's Limited Run Games, there was like a fancy collector's edition with like physical bits and bobs. But they weren't.
I think I sent it to you when it was announced. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent you the link.
But they weren't much to write home about. Like, I think there's like a pin, but it's like a pin that already exists, where it was like a copy of like the beach clothes sign. So I was a bit like, meh. So I was a bit sad about that, because otherwise I 100% would have bought it at the time. Because for anyone that doesn't know, Jaws is one of my hyper fixations, and I use that term properly because I'm neurodivergent, and it's basically one of my favorite. Well, it is my favorite film of all time if you don't count Phantom of the Paradise. I have a Jaws themed bathroom with like the film poster as a shower curtain. And I was a shark kid growing up. I had like loads of educational shark books. I just thought they were neat. And I own the film like in multiple versions, 4K, Blu-rays, special edition books. And I even own like a very detailed replica of the shark that I got last year. And it's like one of my favorite things ever. So basically,
nice.
Yes, I basically want to play and experience everything Jaws related. So it was kind of inevitable that I'd get my hands on this game. And, I've played the PS2 game, Jaws Unleashed, which I still own to this day.
Nice.
But I was very excited to play like the first video game adaptation. And it was very cool. So like you were saying, there's like an original mode when you load it up, which is just the original game, and there's like an enhanced mode where they've kind of turned it into like a more fully fledged RPG, and it's really cool because the original it's not that exciting. It's not like a notoriously bad NES game, It's not. What's the one that Ava Jane always makes fun of? Jekyll and Hyde. It's not anything like that. But it was quite basic. So like, the game has you sailing on a boat between two ports on like an overworld screen, and basically on this overworld map, kind of like Final Fantasy, where you've got like all the fields and things, you get random encounters, but instead of fantastical monsters, it's just sea life. So you've got like
Fun.
you got like jellyfish and stingrays and some sharks because Jaws, and you're a little diver. And you can shoot at them with little harpoons. And sometimes they drop shells. And when you accumulate lots of shells, and if you have enough, each time you go to one of the ports, you level up your own power level. And the higher your power level, the easier it is to take down Jaws, which shouldn't be called Jaws in this, because the shark was called, well, the animatronic was called Bruce after Steven Spielberg's lawyer, but a lot of people kind of call it Jaws, and I guess that's fine, but it does sometimes annoy me. But for the sake of this, the game calls it Jaws, and the manual of the game calls it Jaws. But yeah, Jaws has a power level 2. Basically, when you accumulate enough shells, you can take them down. So like occasionally you'll be on the screen, you'll be swimming about, you'll get a random encounter, there'll be like sea creatures, you take them out, and then occasionally the music will change. It's not like the best rendition of the Jaws theme I've ever heard, because it was
obviously.
Yeah, it's like 8-bit. But then Jaws will come on screen, obviously a little bigger than other sharks, and his power level will appear. Sometimes he'll swim into you on the map regardless. But if you take down his power level to 0, you'll be taken to a new screen where you see the front of a boat and he's swimming directly at you, and it's kind of like the ending to Jaws 4, which if anyone hasn't seen, that's fine. You should probably keep it that way because it's not a good movie. But basically, he comes up to you, you poke a harpoon, the tip of your boat into his belly, he's dead. Game over, you did it, yay. But in the enhanced mode, the ports actually have like side quests that are written in theming of the films. So there's like 4 chapters, and I don't think they got the rights for character names, even though it's an official port of the game based, it's licensed, because you get like quests from like an oceanographer, which is obviously meant to be like Cooper from the first film, and it's like Shark Hunter, and you select his name, and it's like Shark Hunter's like, I need more information about these sharks, go kill this many for me. And it's obviously meant to be like Quint, but it doesn't say their names, but you can assume. But what's really cool is that each chapter, they were trying to tie them into the movies. So in like chapter 3, it's like one of the people you talk to is somebody that owns like a SeaWorld type park thing. And I'm like, because Jaws 3D is set in like a SeaWorld. I think is it actually branded SeaWorld? I can't remember. But
I can look this up.
Yeah, it's something I should know, because 3D's the other one I don't mind watching because it's so bad it's good. But yeah, I just thought that was really neat. And what's cool as well, they add to more stats. So instead of you just having power, you have speed and you have energy, which is like your health bar. And you can also you accumulate money every time you kill the creatures and things, and you can use this to buy like an auto firing button, which the original game sorely needed, and I could only imagine the painful thumb experience that must have bestowed on many kids back in the 80s, because you just have to keep going.
Was this before there were a lot of like third-party controllers that had auto fire buttons? Because that used to be a thing.
Yeah, there must have been some by the 87, surely. I don't know how easy they were to get in America. But yeah, there
Yeah.
must have been. I had one for the N64. I never used the turbo function, but I did have one.
And I can confirm, by the way, it does take place at SeaWorld Orlando.
It
Jaws 3D.
is. Oh, that's funny. I need to rewatch it. I actually bought a job lot of old school 3D glasses to force my friends to watch it.
Oh, nice.
Because there's a bit where the shark, it is just like an image of a shark moving closer to the screen. It's so funny. It's amazing.
I've only ever watched 2 of those like old blue and red 3D movies.
Oh.
And yeah, the only ones I watched were Spy Kids 3D and
yeah.
The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh, with baby
True classics of the genre, both of them.
Taylor Lautner. Oh my God.
Here's a fun story, fun fact for you. I was living in Malaysia at the time that Shark Boy and Lava Girl came out. And in a magazine I used to buy called K-Zone, which was a magazine for teens, I got special like paper Shark Boy and Lava Girl like 3D glasses to watch the movie with, because it was an issue all around the movie and it had an interview with Robert Rodriguez and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't think I have them still. Also, I don't know if they survived, because despite that movie being really stinky, we actually watched it a lot. We just had it on DVD, and I think it was one of the first movies where I realized, I kind of like So Bad It's Good movies. So I think that's how I ended up watching it a lot.
Yeah, I normally don't, but when it's Jaws, when it's shark related, it's when I'm kind of like, don't mind it as much. Although I'm gonna say this now. Deep Blue Sea is a good movie. Like, it's cheesy, but it is like the best non-Jaws shark movie. And because it actually explains why they're behaving the way that sharks wouldn't behave, and Jaws does not do that. Unless you count the fourth one, where it may or may not have a telepathic link to Brody's wife, which is...
That's very funny.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one where what's to say? It's Michael Caine only did it because it paid off a mortgage for either him or his mum. Basically, and that's how bad it is. But anyway,
Okay, so sorry, I'm
Yeah.
going to keep going on this tangent a little while longer. We did mention them at the top of the show. Have you watched the Meg movies, and how do you feel about them?
I've seen the first one. I actually thought it was all right, but I've heard the sequel was a bit rubbish.
Because I like me some Jason Statham movies.
Well, see, I don't like action movies. Like, everyone I know is obsessed with the Fantastic Four. No, Fast and Furious.
Fast and the Furious.
Everyone I know is obsessed with that, and I really hate those movies because they're very masculine. It's
Yeah.
and it's just not my speed. But I do still want to watch the Meg too. I don't like the Sharknado-y like stuff. That's like the Asylum movies. That's like too far. But like,
Yeah. I watched only Sharknado 4. I haven't seen any of the other ones.
like, when I was a kid, like my mum made her friend that was a diver, like a professional diver, take me to see open water. Because like she knew I like sharks, and that kind of like that film is disturbing, but it went in like because it really happened and it terrifies me. Or it's based on a true story or whatever. But anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit too particular, but I did like the Meg. The cast in it was really good, though. To be fair, I think that kind of helped elevate it a little bit. There's like a shark one that I saw on Netflix that's got someone I like in it. Well, has it got Blake Lively in it, or am I getting her mixed up with someone else? I don't know. It looked interesting. I just like sharks. I just think they're cool.
See, it's funny because like you were a shark kid. I was a dolphin kid.
Oh yeah. See, it's. I realize it's either you're a shark kid, dolphin kid, or an Egypt kid. That's like my experience. But yeah, dolphin stuff was cool. Did you have one of those lamps that was like a dolphin, but it was like they were like plastic, but it was like these weird little circular bits of plastic that made like a model. It's really hard to explain, but I feel like they were like everywhere.
I didn't have one of those. No.
I need to find a picture. They were weird. I did have Baywatch Barbie, which came with a little dolphin that I still have to this very day.
One of my best friends said something very funny about dolphins a long time ago. And I'm paraphrasing it when she said, dolphin books. They're like horse books, but in the ocean.
Yeah.
She's a big horse girl.
Yeah, I liked My Little Pony, but I feel like, I wasn't cool enough to be a horse girl.
I kind of, not to keep going on this tangent for too long, I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
But it is very cool that like horse girl stuff is kind of having a resurgence, like a little bit. Like I wrote an article about this years ago, but it's a market that has never really been served super well. Like most of the best horse games are made by like German developers making them with grant money. And so they're never going to be very high budget and very deep. And so nowadays we've got two, I think, sort of interesting looking horse games coming out in the near future. One is Horses of Hoofprint Bay, which is basically a spiritual successor to one of the best horse games of all time. Fun fact, one episode of Game Podular Unfocused covered the demo of that game, and the developers behind it found out, and so that episode did very well.
Aww, that's so cool.
And there's another one that takes place in like Mongolia during the time of like Genghis Khan, and you play as a Mongolian like horse raider, except you don't do any of the raiding, you just care for your horse because they're very famous horse riders.
Yeah.
And that one looks very cool as well.
That is cool. Where's the
Sorry.
Where's the one where I get to pet and brush my sharks though?
See, I think we have to do dolphins first because, as previously established, they are the horses of the sea.
Yeah.
And then we can get to sharks.
Okay.
Did you know that sharks are actually smooth?
Yeah.
This is not. If you had to exist on Tumblr in a very specific time period to get this joke,
No.
there is someone on Tumblr just literally trolling and adamant about the fact that shark skin is not actually rough. They're nice and smooth. And it made a lot of people very angry that they didn't seem to understand. But they did. They were just doing a goof, doing a bit, as the kids say. I'm sorry. Well, we're at least back to sharks now. You were saying about Jaws.
Yes. Anyway, where was I? The enhanced mode. It cranks up the difficulty every chapter, which is good because the original game, the shark kind of just goes from one side of the screen to the other. It sometimes follows you, but it weirdly never feels like a big threat, which is kind of funny when you realize that, it's meant to be Jaws going after you, like arguably the second most iconic, only to Godzilla, like monster villain / creature ever. But the game just makes you not scared of it because it's very easy to avoid. But in the enhanced mode, like the AI of the Sea Life and Jaws especially is a lot better. And I actually don't know how you're meant to complete it without the rewind feature. It has like the rewind function that a lot of, you know, NSO has and emulators have and things, and these kind of re-releases of old games have. And I had to use it a lot right near the end because like one hit and I was down and I was like, oh no.
Can you like upgrade your health as along with your power with the shells?
Yeah. I was your health, your speed, your power. I was fully kitted out, and you could still one hit KO me. But I think it honestly feels like it wants you to use that feature, to be honest, because
wouldn't have put it in the game if they didn't, I suppose.
Yeah, well, when you generate a random encounter, you're on a screen where you see like the top of the sea and you're first a little boat for 2 seconds and then you're a diver. And sometimes to make it harder, the sea level is a lot shorter. So you don't have a lot of places to hide and get away from things that are coming at you. And towards the end, this becomes a lot more difficult because you have like jellyfish, you have jaws, you have other sharks, you have crabs, and then the crabs shoot bubbles at you. And if you get in a bubble, it like kind of you can't control yourself for a while, and sometimes that bubble will just take you into the tiny mess of pixels that it's meant to be Jaws. And you're like, oh. So I was using the rewind thing like a wee bit more than I'd like to towards the end, but it didn't damper the experience or anything. I know people, don't like them, but you don't have to use it. So, I did. And I have no regrets. It did make the sounds a bit annoying, but But yeah, also, because it's like an 8-bit game, the music is not the greatest. There's like 4 tracks, I think, altogether. But it has a charm to it, I would say.
Okay.
I don't know if I was maybe soft on it because I was like, hee, it's Jaws, and my brain just likes anything Jaws related. But I can imagine it getting really annoying for people around you. So if anyone wants to play it, maybe have a headset on, or you could mute it and put the Jaws soundtrack on. It's entirely up to you. But yeah, I will say as well, I played the PS5 version because I wanted the trophies. I know it's bad. And I did buy it digitally before the big horrible announcement on July 1st. So I'm just going to mention that. But there is a standalone physical copy that isn't the collector's edition. And I'm like going to buy that at some point regardless because it'd be nice to own. And you can't get the NES cart here. Although I did see someone selling a North American one on eBay, and I'm like, come payday, I'm gonna buy you. I won't be able to play you, but I'm gonna buy you. But yeah, it was just like I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. I didn't know it had the enhanced mode going into it. I completed both the original and the enhanced mode, and it was really fun and quite charming. And anyone that has a passing like love of the film and grew up with an NES or just doesn't mind older games, definitely should play it. And if anything, it's a very cool like insight into how far we've come with graphically, because like Jaws does not look the best on the game, but if you play, because I sometimes play like Depth, which is like an online shark game, and I've played like Maneater and stuff, and if you look at, both of those are actually aged now, but if you look at that and then compare to the tiny little like sprite of Jaws, it's like, whoa, this is kind of cool. And even like Jaws Unleashed as well, which actually I wish they would remaster at some point because it was actually kind of fun, even though it was a bit jank. But yeah, I had fun. I really liked it. I know people don't like when they re-release games that are, and then I think it was only like $12.99 or something, so it wasn't. It wasn't expensive. And I know people like maybe would hope it'd be cheaper or still don't appreciate it, but it's not a game that's accessible otherwise, especially not in this country. So I appreciated it. It's nice to have,
Yeah.
it's nice to have easy access to it. It was nice to experience as someone who is very obsessed with Jaws. And yeah, it was very cool. I kind of wish they would make new Jaws games. I did get to play the newer Jaws pinball machine the other weekend, and it was so freaking cool. But they're $9,000, and I don't have $9,000 to spend on a pinball machine, so I'd rather buy something like Jaws Retro Rewind instead. It's a bit more affordable, ever so slightly.
Yeah.
But yes.
I hope they can keep the license for a while, because I know earlier this year some of the older Jurassic Park games that were re-released by Limited Run got delisted because the license expired.
Yeah, I quickly went and got a physical copy of that on the PS5 when that got announced, and I'm very glad I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope so too. I don't know how the insights to how all of that works and how long they have them for. But I hope so. Because it's on, like I say, it's on Steam, it's on Switch, it's on PS5. And it's cool that it exists. Especially if you're kind of like rewatching the film and you're on a bit of a high and you're like, I want to do other Jaws things. It's like, oh, there it is. Which is me all the time.
So I did look this up earlier, and I was curious as to why Emily Blunt did appear in that documentary. Apparently, Jaws is like her favorite movie, which also came out when she was doing a press junket for Sicario, and was asked who her first on-screen crush was, and she picked Roy Schneider in Jaws.
Yeah. I it's just more they wanted
or
to
Scheider, rather.
Yeah, they wanted to
There's no
advertise
M.
the new Spielberg film, but it's very jarring when you're like people that know people that were involved in the thing that they're talking about, and then somebody that's just kind of like, I like it too, and you're like, that's nice, you know, because like although it's still a good documentary, because like I mean there's like the famous The Shark Is Not Working documentary, which they did actually take stuff from for this one. I'm so sad that I noticed. And I know most of the things in this one I already knew, but there was still some bits that I didn't. And although I had one of those moments where I was like, oh, I really want to go visit Martha's Vineyard. And I'm like, oh, it's in America.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But yeah, it's just very cool. I don't know why I'm obsessed with Jaws, but I just am.
I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah, just think it's neat.
I mean, between the two of us, your monster movie franchise you're obsessed with is definitely more dignified than mine. Like Tremors is mine.
No, Tremors is cool.
Like,
I like Tremors.
Jaws at least had more than one good movie.
I mean, Jaws 2 is fine. It's fine.
Did you know they made a Tremors movie like last year?
Yeah, I quite fancy doing a marathon of them all at some point.
Have you ever watched the TV show?
No.
I have.
Is it good? No.
No.
Oh, no.
It does have Christopher Lloyd in it.
Oh.
But no, it's not very good. I think it was one of those shows that was so poorly received that like it never got to air its full first season.
No.
Or at least it was aired out of order or something. Like the studio did not care about this show, and I don't blame them. That show is stinky. It's not good.
No, it's not good. I mean,
the first Tremors is a top to bottom banger.
Mm-hmm.
What an excellent movie. But everything after that is just garbage. It's kind of like Highlander that way.
yeah, I mean, that's anything that's kind of horror adjacent. It's kind of suffers from that a little bit. Well, maybe not the Chucky films, because some of the I kind of like the other ones.
Isn't the new one supposed to be pretty good?
I like
They made a new Chucky film a couple years ago.
I like the TV show. I didn't like the last two films. I thought they were a bit boring. But
oh yeah, it was a TV show.
Yeah, the TV
sorry.
show is
I only know about this. This is a very Hilka comment to make because they did a cross promotion with professional wrestling where Chucky showed up on NXT.
Oh, yeah. I did. Yeah. I don't know if you sent me that, but I remember being sent that at some point.
Which is, fun fact, not the first time the Chucky franchise has done a cross promotion with WWE.
But then, no,
Yeah.
the TV show got cancelled though. I'm gutted.
No.
I know. I would have thought that oh my god, I'm having brain fog again. Jennifer Tilly, I should know her name because she's like my idol. Would have thrown her Simpsons money at it to like keep it going, but I don't know if that worked. So
And Evil Dead, like all three of those movies are very good. And the Evil Dead Rise was supposed to be pretty good too.
yeah, I've seen the one before the recent one. What was that one?
I think it was just called Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good. And the TV show is really good. The games were kind of fun too. Even the one that's not online anymore. I quite liked it.
Wasn't that just basically just Dead by Daylight again?
No, you had to go through the places and actually find clues and things, and then your like sanity could change. It was really, there was a lot to it, but if you had a group of friends, it was a laugh, especially if you like had watched the Army of Darkness, especially recently. I really like Bruce Campbell though.
I love Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've
been watching, like on and off, I've been watching Burn Notice, and he's really good in that.
He's just the best.
And Evil Dead Burn was the one that came out this year, and that one's supposed to be good too.
Yeah, I want to see that. They're very... The one I saw, it's like the same universe, I think, but it's like not, it's like it's a separate story. But if you like cool body horror, then yeah. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, that probably looks like it would have been Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah. That must have
directed by Lee Cronin.
Yeah.
Who recently made a movie called Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to see that. I'm behind on my spooky films.
I have a very weird relationship with that name in that I know the name Lee Cronin as like an origin of life researcher, not a film director. They are two different people. I am 90% sure. So it was weird being like, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, you say. I guess he got into filmmaking. Good for him. Science wasn't working out. You hate to see it. Anyway. This episode had a lot of tangents.
Yep.
Love it. But before we finish off the episode, we are going to go to the part of the show where we talk about what we're going to be playing. You will not be surprised to hear that I am still playing Digimon Story Time Stranger. It is good. I'm enjoying it. How about you?
I am currently playing Splatoon Raiders.
Yeah.
But I might not talk about it until you maybe play it. So,
yeah. If all goes according to plan, I will be playing it later this month, which I am looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm very excited. More on that as it develops, I suppose. So that's going to do it for this episode of N Focus. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. I know we had a great time recording it. It's been a while since we've gone that tangenty, I think.
I don't know.
But it's
I worry I do it quite a lot, to be fair.
I mean, it's very funny the directions that you can go, right? Like we were talking about the again, I still haven't figured out how we got from Donkey Kong Arcade Lego to Star Trek. But we did. And yeah, that's what makes podcasting fun, baby. If we were just sitting here reading scripts, it wouldn't be as fun. It's dynamic. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It gets the people going. But we are going to go someplace else. I'm going to go sit down once we finish recording because I stand when we record. Fun fact. I've mentioned it before, I think. So we're going to call it there. Be sure to stick around for the bit where we talk about all the social medias where you can find us, Blue Sky, Discord, all that kind of thing. I keep forgetting to mention the Discord at the top of the show. I should do that more often. But we will talk to you on the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, Hilke here. I just wanted to say thank you for listening to this episode of End Focus. If you got to the end of the episode, hey, thanks. As you may have noticed, I was right at the beginning of the episode and I didn't have any more recording issues. I'm so happy with this new mic. I realized I never mentioned what it is. It's the Rode Pod mic. Rode makes excellent microphones, and I'm a big fan. Not sponsored, but hey, if you want to, Rode, our emails are open. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps us get noticed. Also, please tell your friends if you think they'd be interested. Word of mouth really helps too. You can also listen and subscribe on Spotify, other podcast services, and YouTube. And if you are listening on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out our sister show, Game Podular Unfocused. Follow us on Blue Sky and at GamePodular.com for updates, news, and other content, like the bingo card. Yay! Links to all of our socials, including the Discord and the Blue Sky, may be found at our link tree. If you'd like to support our shows, you can buy us a coffee or become a Game Podular patron on the Patreon. The details for both are on our website. Thank you. This episode was edited by me, Hilke, and you can follow me at gear12turbo.eurosky.social on Blue Sky. I was joined today by Rosalie, who you can find at littlerecordgirl.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. Have a good one.